you see, in the car, heading off somewhere a bit different. Going off to a local dealer that I've only just recently discovered. I suppose it's my bag really. Going to a place called Howie Koi in Dorchester. It's only 17 miles away from my house. I'd heard of them before, but I thought they were just sort of like a pond building business. But they've actually got pools set up with a good selection, a huge selection of fish, I believe. I've been led to believe, and I joined the Facebook group and had a look on there and read the testimonials and everything like that. So I phoned them up, said, is it okay if I pop down for a visit and have a little look round? And they were more than happy for me to come down. So on the way down there now. So I'm on the way down there now, have a little look around, and I'm going to take you with me. See you when we get there. Catch you in a bit. Howie Koi is based in Dorchester in Dorset. It is a family-run business driven by Matthew Howe. With over 60 years' experience in fish keeping between the team, they are able to supply a complete range of dry goods, medications and food from several of the major brands. As well as Japanese koi from normal to high grade, they sell UK bred koi from their very own mud ponds. They have 15 ponds in total and breeding koi from Japanese parent lines. They are able to supply most of the common varieties. Their most successful seem to be the goshiki, which is also turns out to be the family favourite. As well as koi and dry goods, they are able to provide a full pond building and design service from budget to very high end. As well as this, they provide a servicing, maintenance and cleaning and complete pond health checks. So let's go on over and let's have a look at Howie Koi. So when you say you've got a mix of UK bred and English. UK bred ones, is that from your own ponds, is it?
Yeah, and then all the Japanese is imported through Koi wholesale.
Okay.
Perhaps selected with half of them going up there and back where the money we want.
So what's the parent stock then? It's Japanese blood?
All Japanese blood on first spawning, and then sold off. Our problem with the English is we can't ever keep hold of the big ones, we haven't got the space for them.
You haven't?
No, so all of ours are basically coastline and occasionally on this side, and all the rest of them are sold off at an early stage and moved through the internet or through our local connections.
Yeah.
All of those are now Japanese, apart from there's two left now which are our own spawnings. We do go back into the farm.
So what is it you deal with mainly in your own spawning?
What, as in type?
Yeah, what type?
We mix everything. You'll see next door there's everything. There's chags, there's showers, sankies,
Yeah.
jackies.
What you had the most success with?
Goshiki.
Really?
But that's our favourite anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love our goshikis. My wife loves them. She loves them.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Especially in
So,
Two ring-a-rama.
It's on a timer, but
Yeah. Need a refill. Oh, can I have a black coffee, please? One sugar. I'm going to speak to Matthew in a minute. I'm not sure if these are the ones from his own pond. I don't know whether you heard the conversation earlier, but he's got 15 ponds of his own where he does all his own rearing and breeding. So a lot of the UK, well, all UK stock is from his own ponds, which is something I didn't know before I came in. The first one we looked at just there with the bigger fish in, that's all Japanese fish in there. And I think the rest of these fish here are homebred. Now I've got to say actually, the quality is quite impressive. There's some nice Jimrin Achievers on over there. Some crash doors. Showers, the series, it seems to do all of them.
He's gorgeous, he's so lovely. I'm going to go all I've got a pure pond, yeah, well, good for you. Yeah. Yeah.
This is their own personal pond.
What's something like in there? I know it's massive. I don't think I did that stairs in it.
How old's your sturgeon?
Don't know. I've sold her numerous times.
You sold her numerous
Yeah,
times.
and every time I've asked to see a photo and I deliver the fish, I don't know, can I pick it up? I'm expecting the others that would know what the pond is. The pond's not big enough to fill it.
No.
Trying to find somebody who can sturgeon that size. So she's been here with us. She's been out the pond a few times and the boys have held her from stopping one pond to another.
Had any problems on feeding? No.
Oh, what, the sturgeon?
Yeah.
No.
No.
We found the sturgeon as well, they hardly feed it. Obviously we just didn't have to in there, but the carpet over it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. And a mate of mine, he's got a couple of 6-foot sturgeons. And what he does, he's got a big tube and he sticks it down at the bottom of the pond and he waits for the sturgeon to come down and he drops the food straight down. Otherwise, like I said, the koi are just in pushing them out of the way.
It's amazing how like that sense of smell or so on it. Yeah. So it should be up there, be up there, chuck the food out here, and he goes into a loop. You said just charge around the pond, and it comes to that point, and you just stop.
Have a good old munch, yeah.
It's amazing, that sense of smell.
I would have one if I had the size, but like I said, I ain't got the size. That Goski one of your own?
The mirror there, 2 years old. The mum's 2 years ago, 54.5 pounds. Massive, absolutely huge.
You won't have to catch them through that, would
For
you?
2 years. It's going to be definitely the biggest fish in there by the end of the summer. Just
Which is the orange one there? The orange and black one. And then the other orange and black one. That one there, the bright orange one. Hello. Orange three?
I can't persuade you, but I know which one I bought from.
Which one?
Shell down the bottom. There you go, there's
Which one? The picture of the mirror.
Christ.
That was 2019.
3 years this year then.
It's insane how heavy they are, isn't it? How big and heavy they are.
So these are for sale as well then?
Yeah,
I thought this was your personal pond.
No, we don't have. The only fish that's even got a name to it is the cow, which is the black and white one.
Yeah.
All the other ones are just.
And you're Surrey.
Well, the only one I would definitely not sell is the mirror.
The mirror.
Yeah, because my boys and he chose it as a little inch thing like this.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that Surrey's it is a bit of a beast, isn't it?
Dr. Joe.
Yeah.
Literally, when you sit on the sofa, she just sits like that and her face is there. And she's just wants to
When I got my Jake and that, like, we wanted a female because females are more affectionate than males. Yeah. But I wouldn't change my Jake for the world now.
Peanut's a male and he's really
He's 12 this year.
See, I had a boxer, he's the only male dog I've had, and he died last year, but he was 13.
Yeah.
I loved that dog. He was the stupidest, ugliest dog that we loved. Yeah, bad.
Very different than that.
Crisp.
Why is this one too?
How old?
Seneye. So just before I go, just look again at the main pond here. Most of the fish in here are for sale. There's a few that ain't for sort of like personal reasons, including the big mirror just going down there. All hanging around. The Goshki there, a nice big Goshki there, one of his own bred ones, straight out of his own ponds. So as you can see there, you know, it's not just because it's a English bred, it doesn't mean they're going to necessarily be small. It's hard to sort of describe it. I mean, it's Surrey there, I mean, that's a beast. That is a beast. And also the Kahaku over there in the corner. A good 80. Like I said, there's some nice big lumps in here. But yeah, had a good old chat with Matthew. Sorry I didn't get it on film. He was having to run off and deal with customers and that lot as we're doing it, but very nice bloke. Very good business. Doing a whole range of equipment, drums. Most makes of drums. You know, right down starting at Filteroo, which is sort of like the budget end, You get yourself a drum for under £700. It does the job and it works very well, and Matt says they've never had any complaints with them. They work, and they work very well. He does most makes. He has an account with all of them, so you can get your most makes, food, you know, pipe fittings, filters, pumps, you name it, he can get it all for you. And also, you know, they've got the business of building the ponds, and if you go on their Facebook page or website, you can see some of the builds they've done, and they do very good work. But yeah, quality of fish is also very good. Don't be afraid to buy UK bred. I mean, you've got Adam Beyer, who's doing very well, amongst others. And you know, Howie Koi have got their own, like I said, they've got 15 ponds, and they do a lot of breeding of their own, and from what I've seen, they're producing very good fish as well. But anyway, so that's it. Sorry I couldn't get a bit more. Got to go home and do some work on my own pond. Got a bit of help with the digging. Slow help. Come on, dig it out. What do you mean you're finished? I paid you in advance 2 bonio and 2 bonio on completion, and that's all you've done? It's not really good enough, is it? Are you going to get back to it? Or are you going to go inside? You're going inside, are you? Alright, 4 bonio. You want 4 bonio? Is that a deal? And you can go back to work then? Go on then, back to work. In the pit. Oh yeah, so yeah. It wasn't a fleeting visit I had to Howie Koi. It ended up being quite a long visit, but you know what it's like when you get there and you're meeting somebody and you sort of like strike up a conversation. You tend to get on quite well. You know, sort of nattered about koi and koi pond building and houses and things like that, and before you know it, the time was disappearing, so I didn't actually do that much filming. Got a bit of the fish that he's got for sale. I didn't get any of Matt on camera because well worth a visit. Like I said, details are down below in the link, and you know, pop over, have a look at the website and Facebook page, and if you're in Dorset, Somerset area looking for a pond builder, I could recommend him. I've seen some of his work. I think some of the work's on the website or Facebook, but yeah, very good. Anyway, spin you around. Yeah, covers are off. Pond is looking extremely murky at the moment, because as soon as I took the covers off, I got the brush out and decided to brush all the sides down as best as I can, sweep the bottom, get all the stones into one area so I can hoover them up a little later on. But I mean, just sweeping the sides down where the dead algae was, the dead blanket weed and stuff like that, it just stirred up a right mess. Hopefully it should clear in about a couple of hours, so we'll come back and have a look at it when it's all cleared. But yeah, covers are off. Yeah, still going to be cold at nights, but couldn't stand looking at the polycarbonate anymore, doing my head in. Mind your own business, it looked like it was doing really well under the covers. It was a little bit pale green in colour, a little bit limp. Hopefully now the covers are off, it'll start perking up a bit more like this one down here, which has gone absolutely nuts. Starting to give it the effect I wanted it to. I don't know whether I let it go all around. I could do with something to go under there in the shade a bit. I don't know whether mind your own business would take off in there. I did try some down there. It's sort of spreading, but sort of not. But now sort of summer's coming, it might go a bit more, so I might try a bit more around there, or a few alpines. But yeah, like I said, marsh marigold, now it's uncovered, hopefully won't get eaten by slugs too much, like it was doing under the covers. Should be coming out in the flower soon as well. I think that's dandelion. I did put a plant there, but I think that might be dandelion. I'll leave it and see. Whether I can't remember where I put it. I think it was down in there. Can't quite see down in there, but that's where spring tart. Can't remember what it is now. Slugs love them. Yeah, hosta, sorry, that's it. Yeah, hosta in there. I can just see, I don't know where you can see down in there because of the light, but something coming up anyway, so hopefully that'll come back. Probably not get eaten to death, because the ones over here are just starting to come up. Oh, sorry about that. The stand was getting caught in the bag, but so they're just coming up, so try and keep the slugs down this year. A good sign of having a slow worm earlier on. Could do with a few more, but yeah. So like I say, covers are off. Right there. Like I said, it does look really murky, but I shall give it a couple of hours to settle. And I can imagine the filters will need a hell of a good clean after that. So it's been about an hour, and can't really see with the air on at the moment, but the water's clearing. Now I thought with the covers being off, they'd be a bit spooked, but they seem to be quite happy. I mean, obviously the water's not crystal clear yet, still a lot of stuff floating about in there, but there was a lot of muck and crapping about, and I'll probably have to go around it and do it again. The blade on there was absolutely covered in all sorts of gunk. But yeah, need to get some planting done now, doing things like that. Now question, now these, right, half plant towers, going to go down the side against the fence there, and the missus wanted to get these so we can get some clematis to grow up. Now if you look, right, rusty. So, and you can see they were originally sort of like a bit of black or something like that. So when I brought these, I sort of said, yeah, it's a small independent garden centre, and I said, well, how much are you going to knock off them for them being rusty? And she was like, what do you mean knock off? I said, well, they're rusty. I said, I'm going to have to paint them before I put them into place. She goes, oh no. She says, that's what you're paying for, is the rust. That's the look that people go for these days, is the rusty look. Yeah, right, okay. Not for me, unfortunately. So I'm going to get the old Hammerite out, or Smoothite, I should say, not the bit of cream on there, give them a paint, and get them into position, and get the tomatoes growing up around them. But rusty? Who's into the rusty look? I ain't. But yeah, so we've been to the garden centres, trying to get some plants going. So I've got all these here to get in. Dianthus, love the smell of the dianthus and that lot. I've got a few little creeping ones to go down over the rocks. Nepeta. Bees love these. You can see the flowers spike up there, and these flower from sort of like now through until September. And same as the Dacia. Again, they just keep flowering, a bit of a spreading habit. And this is one new one on me, a Bacapoa. Pretty little white flowers from now until September. And this one here is a Luciantium. which has got white daisy flowers again. This is sort of like June till September flowering time, but it's sort of like a mound falling spreading habit, so hopefully we can sort of like soften the rocks up a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be a good show on the Acer this year. So let's get on and get a bit of planting. Let's look at the pond at another angle. So glad to have the covers off. Gravel's nice and clean just on the inlet to the skimmer there. A little bit of algae just on the edges, so it's not too bad. I have to take the feeding ring out and give that a blast off, clean that up. But yeah, I thought they'd be going nuts and running away, but they seem really happy to have the covers off. Right. So I've painted them in a nice antique cream colour. Look a lot better in my opinion. And planted the clematis down in there. So yeah, hopefully they should come up. Last year we had a clematis there, it just went absolutely nuts, but when we trimmed it back, well, Mrs. trimmed it back, I think she trimmed it too close to the ground and it's killed off, or the slugs get into it, but got the other plants in as well. Hopefully they'll come up, grow out over the rocks, just soften up the rocks a little bit. Get down in here and have a look. So another one stood there. Ideal position for them. They like sort of nestling between a couple of warm rocks. And can't see, but if you go around here, just down there. The other one's just in front of the Japanese pagoda, creeping out some rocks, and that should sort of like grow out towards the sun and down towards the pond a little bit. They don't get massive, but yeah. Anyway, pond's clearing. Well, it's almost completely clear now.
Clearing quite nicely.
Fish is always looking for food. Bless them. Love them. Don't you? You wouldn't be here if you didn't love koi. But yeah. So like I said, holding the camera right up in the air, almost like a drone. On the end of the big selfie stick, you can see. The water's lovely, clearing really nicely, and the fish are all doing really well. Do need to thin the herd out a bit though. And yeah, it's all looking good. After sweeping the sides of the pond down, just try and show you the mess in the filter there. It is absolutely, and I need to change the slide over, so I'll do that now. And the Seneye slide, that is. So I've just been and fetched a slide, been soaking in a bowl of pond water, 24 hours. I don't know whether you can see that before I take it out, but if you remember when I took the slide out and I said that took a picture of it, showing the colour. It was sort of like a pale white colour, and they said that corresponded with my readings. And if you look at this slide, it's sort of like a purple colour. I'm trying to take it out without touching the should do it with gloves really, but so that side there, focus it, it's like a purpley colour. So that one's the same colour, but that side's totally different colour. So we'll get this into the reader and we'll compare them in a sec. Let's put that back in the pond water. Pump this out, just loop that up, dangle in there a minute. So there you go, totally different colours, so hopefully this will bring my readings onto what they should be, but we'll find out. I'll give it 24 hours to settle down once it's in, and then we'll double check it. But yeah, that one's the bin, that one's got to go into the reader. Back in, get back into the water. Now I just need to scan the barcode and then it'll be activated. So as you've seen before, this is what the discs come in, and you've got a QR code there. You need to go on and just scan the QR code to activate the new chip. So I've just checked the first reading that's come through on the chip, and it was the pH that we was having problems with, and now the pH has shot up to sort of like 8.83, which probably coincides near enough with the where I manually adjusted it. So now I'm going to have to do another pH check with my manometer and then go back into the computer and re-alter it. So it looks like it was possibly a dodgy chip, and this one's playing ball. So be interesting to see how it goes as time goes on, as the chip starts to wear. Alright, so get the computer out, change the values, and we'll have a look at that. So on the computer, and you can see that the new slide has changed things a bit. The pH now is 7.72, and that's just on normal settings, totally reset to normal. Temperature's reading approximately true, it's about 15.645. I think it's closer to 16 at the moment on the outdoor thermometer. 0.068 of ammonia, which is probably about right, because I've been chucking a lot of feed in today and having the covers off and doing a bit of cleaning, so it's probably knocked it up a little bit. But keep an eye on it over the next few days, and just sort of see how, give it sort of like about 24 hours to settle in the slide, and then do some readings with my other test kits and compare it to the Seneye, see how accurate the new slide is. So just in the evening, just doing my filter clean. I don't know where you can see in this light, but stood here, the water's totally cleared now, air's off. absolutely crystal clear. But I did notice, I don't know where it show up on camera, I did net him, or her, Amanda, over there, come round, and on the side of her head there, just above her eye, she's got a lump. You can see it sticking out there. Anyway, I netted her, pulled her over the side and that, like I had a feel with my finger, and it feels like bone. It's absolutely rock hard. I've not seen this before. If anybody else has ever heard of this, like I said, it's not pierced the skin or anything like that. It's like I said, it's just like a lump under the skin, and if you run your finger over it, press it and everything like that, it's absolutely rock hard. It feels like part of the skull. It is rock hard. Whether she banged herself or something like that, I don't know, but if anybody's ever seen this before, let me know, please, what you think it is. You just sort of see it sticking out there. Like I said, it's not a scab, it's not a parasite, it's not an infection, you know, the skin's sound. It is literally a hard lump, and it feels like part of the skull. That's it. So, unless it's a spawning thing, I don't know. But yeah, alright, yeah, if anybody knows anything about that, get